First and foremost, welcome to the experience. This is This, That, and the Third interview series. We are live at Power 104.4 FM Studios. And I'm your host, Stephen the Dream. Behind the camera, as always, Creative Eye Visuals. And we have a very, very, very special guest in the building today. We got somebody who's running through the trap like she was running some laps. But at the end of the day, she's a lot more than that. First time I heard her freestyle. I heard a lot of passion in what she did. I heard a lot of storytelling. I heard some real truth. And when I found out, for her to be so young and have gone through so much so early, I really was intrigued by her story. So I had to bring her up here, and I have her right now. We got the one and only Tians Rose.
Tians.
We got her in the building. What's good with you, girl? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing real good. I'm glad to have you up here.
Right.
I appreciate you for taking the time to come see me at the end of the year. I know it's a lot going on. How's your holidays going? How's everything? You ready?
I'm for sure ready.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You
blessed.
You celebrate holidays real big? Is that a big thing for you? Or?
Well, this Christmas gonna be different from my other Christmases.
Okay.
It's not as happy as my other Christmases. I just had a very dear loss to my heart, but
okay.
This is the beginning to something that's endless. So I'm ready.
Okay. So we'll definitely be hoping that your Christmas still turns out well. I think you got a lot to celebrate this year. I think you had a
For
good
sure.
year in terms of just stepping out. Let me just start from the beginning. Like, where do you come from? Like, who are you? Who is? I keep saying it. I need to let the people know because when you say it's a certain way, you have to say her name, folks. Let the people know who you are and where you come from.
So I always say, you gotta smile when you say my name, so it's Tians. It don't sound right if you don't say it with a smile. You gotta smile when you say it. But I'm originally born from Brooklyn.
Okay.
But I've been raised in Charlotte, so I hold the foe real dear to my heart.
That's what it is.
And I'm not from this planet.
You're not from this planet.
Nope.
I'm gonna tell you this for certain. When you say you from Charlotte, I knew you had to be from somewhere else because I'll tell you. There's not a lot of, and I'm not just saying females or women. There's not a lot of people that rap like you down here, and I caught on to that. Like I said, I was a little more intrigued because I said, who is this person in Charlotte that doesn't sound like per se what the Charlotte sound is that I hear from a lot of people. What are your excuse me? What are your influences from like New York and everything? From being up there. How long did you spend up there?
I was born in New York, and I was at New York till I was 13. So I've been in Charlotte for about 7 years.
Okay, so definitely you definitely had to grow up with a little different background.
Right.
Let me ask you this then: what are some people that you grew up listening to in terms of maybe not even just hip hop? Because I see there's your ethnic background. What's your ethnicity?
I'm Dominican and I'm Puerto Rican.
Okay.
But I take more of my Dominican side because I wasn't really around my dad like that.
Okay.
My dad is Puerto Rican. But, my biggest influence, I would say, would be like Lauryn Hill, Stephen Marley. People, that got that soul. That's the type of music that I always was attracted to, things that make me feel things.
Right. I can tell that in your music. I hear a lot of strings in your music. I hear a lot of hear a lot of things that I can hear. That, like I said, I could tell you your Dominican roots probably influence a lot of your music.
For sure.
You dance too, right?
Yeah.
you now what's the bachata like? What's your moves like? Cause I try to get down sometime on the floor, but I ain't really as coordinated as I like to be.
It's funny because before I ever started doing music, I was a dancer. Before anything. Like, before I was singing, rapping, anything, I was a dancer, model, and actress.
Really?
So, it's in my blood. I haven't been dancing as much recently because I've been so caught up in my music. But, once you know something, you can't forget it. So
you knew you wanted to be in entertainment in, like, some way, shape, or form.
I've always had something to do with music in the entertainment industry. Always.
You dropped your was it your first project in January? Was that your first drop earlier this year?
Yeah, that was my first album. That was me by myself before I had any type of management or anybody behind me. And that was just my introduction, I feel like, to the world, because I feel like everybody always knows me as Taco. So the reason I dropped my album was because it was like, nigga, who the fuck is Taco? Like,
The
my name
intro,
is Tians.
the
So,
intro, you really stamped it like that, and it's so crazy because when I listen to the album, by the time you end it, you're like, it's just like a different, it's like a different vibe. Like it's like I felt Taco Bay was like coming out the, no pun intended, the shell, and was
facts.
like, I'm out of here with this because the music changed. Like even from, all right, I'm gonna give y'all running through the laps, but
Right.
then I'm gonna give y'all the break. You know what I'm saying? Need a break. You know, I'm gonna
Need a
give y'all,
break.
I'm gonna give y'all the actual cuts that I'm really feeling. And you know, we you know, we listened to your tape actually last night on the way back from a game, and it was like, you know, the fellas in the room, like the fellas in the car, we was all like, yo, like it's real life stories in this that are being told. Like, who is this girl? And I was like, yo, shit, you know, we're gonna talk to her. A question that I would have to ask you, like, how does someone so young, excuse me, someone so young, have so much to say? Like, how do you ultimately come up with the things? Is it from personal experience? Is it more from, you know, just hearing other people? Like, what's your process? Is it writing? Is it just off the head? Like, what is it?
When I speak, I mean, I just let my soul speak.
Mm.
And when I said earlier, like, I'm not from this world, like, the type of person I am, like, people have always said that even being younger. Like, even when I was 5 years old, people was like, yo, you act like you 10. When I was 10, they was like, yo, you act like you 15. When I was
Right.
15, you feel me? I moved out of my house at 16 years old, you feel me? So
You had to
I've
grow up
always
quick.
been ahead of my time, you feel me? That's just something that was naturally instilled in me. That's just how I was born. It wasn't something that was taught, you know?
Right.
But I mean, I speak from my soul when I speak.
So in terms of like your situation now, I know you said like when you first released, it was, you know, by yourself, you were doing things on your own. How was that feeling in terms of jumping out there, and was the reception everything that you wanted? Was it more like, did you just need to release something? Like, what was the feeling like once you got the music out there?
Well, you know, I was just coming out of my breakup. I was revamping myself, finding myself, you know, going through that phase that I feel like most people go through. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? But I feel like that I did that mostly for me, like more than just dropping music for everybody else to hear. That was more so like my therapy and me, like telling myself, establishing who I am. Like I am Tiani's, and I don't give a fuck about the taco shit and all that shit. Like it's always gonna be a part of me because it's a part of my identity. But it's like nah.
But the Taco Bay is more like, it's just a moniker. It's just something that, you know, if you it's not something that you really looking to brand and be. I got a buddy who I heard who called you the breakup queen. Shout out to I got 20 on my beat, but he called you the queen of breakup
I
music.
believe it.
Like I don't think you can, I don't know, like Taco Bay, when I hear that, I hear like Doja Cat, and like, you know, I hear like, you know, a character more say, and that may be something you look into doing at some time, but when I hear your music, that's really not, you know, that's not what I hear. I hear the breakup queen. I hear the real things that you probably been going through. How does it feel to have that? You know, is that something more of a title that you would look to hold up versus the Taco Bay, you know, thing?
I feel like, you know, again, the reason why I'm going with Tiani's is unique. It's one of a kind. There's no other Tiani's, you feel me? Have you ever met another Tiani's?
That's the first time I'd ever said it. Ever
Have
met
any of
him?
y'all met another Tiani's? Well, shit, you know what I'm saying? So I don't feel like Taco is, like I said, it's an identity that I ain't give myself that name, you feel me? I got Taco from being the new girl at school, you feel me?
Okay.
So, and it was really like a racist joke because people ain't know, like, you know, any other Hispanic race but Mexicans. So people assumed, oh, she's Mexican. And then people couldn't say my name Tiani's, so they started calling me Taco. But I just started calling myself Taco because I was like, fuck it. Y'all gonna, you know, use it against me to make fun of me. I'm gonna take it and run with it. You feel me?
You empowered it. You empowered it, really. Flipped it for
Taco is
yourself.
bae,
Taco is Bay.
but not your bae.
It's some marketing in that now. I say it, but like I said, I think it's something that your music speaks to more of who you are yourself, and I think going with your name is working for you. I want to get into the video that you dropped, because again, it's like you went full blown Charlotte Hispanic, you know, like y'all was putting on for that one. Talk about that video, the concept, how it came
Which
together.
one?
Running through the trap.
Trap Running Laps?
Yeah.
So basically, when I made this song, it was with Figs.
Okay.
I mean, it's like, it was the quickest song that I ever wrote. Like, I wrote it in like literally 15, 20 minutes. And, you know, it was just a vibe, and that's how I felt at the time. Like, my trap was running laps. Okay. So that's how I was feeling.
I want you to introduce it for the people. We're going to play the video right now. When we come back, I do want to talk a little bit more about, you know, what you got going on in terms of how life has changed in, you know, 11 months, you know, from music to,
sure.
you know, tragedy to, you know, success. I just want to go through some more things with you.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But it's this, that, and the third interview series. We got Tians Rose in the building with us. Introduce your video. We're going to play it for the people. Let's get to it.
Dope.
Ayy, running up the trap like I've been running track.
Ayy, Tians, Rose, bitch, I'm running up the trap like I was running some laps. Got the best product in town, I made these bitches relax. They say I've been going too hard, I think I need to relax. Bitch, I'm running up the trap like I was running some laps. Ayy, running up the trap like I was running some laps. I've been running up the trap like I've been running some laps. Bitch, I'm running up the trap like I've been running some laps. Bitch, I'm running up the trap like I've been running some laps. Bitch, I had to get the bag and it had my mama worried. Started smoking on that gas, I quit my tired of no worries. Niggas hitting on my jack saying that I did them dirty. Bitches stay watching my snap and I lay back watch them lurking. If it ain't about the money, why the fuck did you call me? If it ain't at least 400, then I don't even want it. None of my niggas could get caught cause all my niggas got warrants. And I ain't really with the top, the chopper be the last warning. Bitch, I'm running up the trap like I was running some laps. Got the best product in town, I made these bitches relax. They say I've been going too hard, I think I need to relax. Bitch, I'm running up the trap like I was running some laps. Ayy, running up the trap like I was running some laps. I've been running up the trap like I've been running some laps. Bitch, I'm running up the trap like I've been running some laps. Bitch, I'm running up the trap like I've been running some laps. Running through your trap like I was a track star. Half these niggas can't rap, it's a rap for whack bars. I know where your mama at, careful if you act hard. I know how to make it crack, even if the crack hard. I had to get it to get it. Bitch, you know I'm independent, never depend on a nigga. Y'all bitches be feeding off niggas. I only eat with my niggas. On the B, I be beating these niggas. Spitting heat cause they needed me, nigga. Tians can't feed me, little nigga. Bitch, I'm running up the trap like I was running some laps. Got the best product in town, I made these bitches relax. They say I've been going too hard, I think I need to relax. Bitch, I'm running up the trap like I was running some laps. Ayy, running up the trap like I was running some laps. I've been running up the trap like I've been running some laps. Bitch, I'm running up the trap like I've been running some laps. Bitch, I'm running up the trap like I've been running some laps.
Series, Steven the Dream, Tians Rose in the building. We are live once again, man. You did your thing with the video.
Thank you.
I'm looking for more visuals from you coming up. I know it's a lot probably going on over this last year because y'all been sitting with that tape and y'all been letting it ride for the year. But I know that creativity has been occurring over that time. I'm sure. You in a new situation. If you would let the people know like your deal right now, your label situation. I know y'all starting something new, something big, and I know you happy to be a part of it. If you can talk a little bit more about that.
So, Social Currency Enterprises, and y'all gonna hear that name a lot coming very soon. 2020 rolling out whole new visuals, project, music coming soon. I know I got everybody waiting this whole year, but 2020 is the year, so yeah.
How does it feel to be a pioneer, something new, something starting up that that you already probably can feel is building and growing a lot from
I think
what
it's
you
dope.
you think
I
it's
think
dope?
it's dope. I think it's beautiful. I'm blessed. I'm grateful to have the opportunity to be a part of something that's actually starting. I think it's doper to be a part of something actually growing with it versus than just being with something that's already established, because then you have part in, building
Right.
that empire as well. So,
Right.
you
So
know,
so many times we've heard like artists in terrible situations because they wanted to go so big so fast, not realizing that might not you didn't even understand the beginnings and the business of what you were doing in the first place.
usually the road that glitters in gold ain't really gold. So that's not the road I'll be trying to take.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
You were doing I saw an interview, shout out to Big Mouth. I definitely fooled with them.
Thanks. I think they on here too.
They on here. Shout outs to them.
You feel
you were
me?
telling
Big Mouth Media.
yeah, shout out to Big Mouth Media. I
Okay.
definitely like those guys. They do their thing. I watched that interview with you, and you had started to tell a story about how you was discovered by King Carter. And I don't think it got all the way through. I think y'all like cut to something else. So I think you were just saying like you quit your job, you just had put the music out, and then I think it went to something else. If you could elaborate on just like how you ended up getting to the point where you're signed and now you in a situation where, like you said, 2020 you ready to explode.
Right. So basically, January, right before I dropped my album, I quit my 9 to 5. It was such a tough decision because I had such a good job. Like, I was the youngest person in my office. I was 19 being a project manager, you feel me?
Dang.
Not everybody gets that opportunity. I was getting paid very well, but I had to sit down with myself and I was like, if you really want this music shit, you really gotta do this shit. Like, you gotta put all your time in it. I can't be going to the studio and I'm doing 40 hours in the office every fucking week, you feel
Don't
me?
work.
And it's not what I love, you feel me? I'll be at the office, I'm like, yo, why am I here? Like, this isn't what makes me happy, you feel me? So I quit and I was just like, fuck it. I ain't have no plan B. Like, this was my only plan A.
Right.
And then once I dropped my album, the city started, buzzing a little bit, started asking more questions about me. And then King Carter reached out to me. All he said was, you dope. But that was like my first, connection with him. And then from there, I had to get on his ass on, getting me to work. Because I was like, you said I'm dope. And damn, I'm about to fuck your
No,
shit
you
up.
good, you good.
But,
You want him to push
I'm ready
you.
to work.
You
Like,
was
what's up?
ready.
And, for the first couple of months, I had to be, on his ass. But then, he finally came to me when he was ready. And he had a situation that was better for me. You feel me? And then now we working, so.
I mean, I think if there's anything we learned about, him, if you trust the process, good things can happen for you. So,
Absolutely.
that's a major push for somebody to see something in you, just to, reach out and to let you know, hey, that's dope. And then to ultimately follow up to what y'all doing now. Real big ups to that whole situation. With success comes, downfalls and triumphs as well. I don't know how deep you want to get into the losses that we spoke on earlier, but the freestyle that you dropped, my God, like the
Which
I think
one?
the one that when you was in the studio and it was you were very emotional. It's the more recent one you put on your Instagram page, and I don't know who was in the room, but they said that's your intro. Right now, like
That was her right there, Kia.
I would, I don't know what to tell you to do, but take it down. Cause it's deep. It's like yeah, that's it. But if you could, maybe elaborate on maybe whatever you would like on that situation. But I think it's a story to be told, and from what came out of that, cause it made me want to know what's going on.
Yeah. So basically, just recently, I just had I've had multiple deaths within this year. Like I've had 4 people pass away that are close to me, but the last death that I just experienced was the closest one to me. I've never had someone this close to me pass away.
Right.
It was my uncle, but he was more like my dad growing up. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to him. And the intro, as you would say, it was very emotional. Even making that song,
I can tell.
Even talking about it right now with you.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, I'm getting a little emotional, but
And we don't have to go too deep. I just
Yeah.
wanted to just let the people know, like, it's a lot that's about to come from you, and I can just tell from, like you said, from you going through so much so early. Like, I'm super excited to hear more of your music. Like, it is, what you're doing right now is tough now, but at the end of the day, like, we go through things for certain reasons to come out stronger.
absolutely.
So
And I gained the best angel I could.
facts,
So everything happens for a reason, and I'm just making sure that the legacy lives on.
facts.
So 2020.
2020, we doing it real big.
Mm-hmm.
Do you your thoughts on like album titles? Like, is that something that you already got, kind of in your head? Is it, so I'm sure your team will go in and kind of work through that, but is it something that you stuck on that, that you just know that you want, or is it, I try to get, for the top of the year, whatever we can get from you, but if you got something that you want to drop,
So I will drop a little tea.
just a little bit,
Just a little.
something
I'll sprinkle
slight.
a little bit of rose petals
Something
on you
slight.
real quick. Just stay tuned for Who Is She.
Okay.
And that's gonna be leading up to my big project.
Okay.
But Who Is She is coming out first.
Who is she on the way?
2020, on the top of 2020. Look out for Who Is She. And yeah.
I'm excited, man. I'm really really happy that you came up here and talked to me. Before we get out of here, like, I told artists, if you come up here, please be prepared. I really don't want to. I don't want to have to ask for it, and I don't have to ask for it. I shouldn't have to ask for it. But if you come up here, please give me something. Give me something. Give me bars. Give me anything. So if you would mind blessing us with a little something, we can take a quick break.
Song?
Just bless them
Okay.
with a little something. It
I
ain't got to
got
be
you.
much. We can go straight into it. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm always ready.
Sheesh. See, this is how we doing it right here. So before we get out of here, let the people know where they can find you.
Oh yeah, follow me on Taco Bay, Taco BAE.
Yes,
And,
sir.
Yeah, only on Instagram though.
Where can they find the music? How can they search the
Music,
music?
Tians Rose, TIANIS Rose. And again, when you say my name, you gotta say it with a smile.
Gotta smile with it. Tianis Rose in the
That's
building.
a fact.
Big shout outs to Power 104.4 FM Studios. Shout out to Creative Eye Visual behind the scenes. I am your host, Steven the Dream. Make sure y'all follow me there at Carolina Heat Up as well. And This, That, and the Third interview series for all your interview clips. We will be back again with another interview soon, guys. Y'all just stay tuned. Let's get into the music right now. Teasy, if you could turn this up in the monitor. We're gonna get into to the beat right now. We're gonna make sure that you can hear you.